Have you ever felt like God's promises were taking too long? You've prayed, believed, waited, but nothing seems to be moving. You start wondering, did I hear God wrong, or worse, did he forget about me? In moments like these, delay can feel like denial. But what if, instead of being a punishment, your delay is actually part of God's divine design? Today we're diving into Habakkuk 2:3, a verse that reminds us that God's timing is perfect, even when it feels painfully slow.
Hi, family. Welcome to It's Marvella, your safe space for healing, hope, and truth. Whether you're tired of pretending to be okay, battling emotional pain, or finding your way back to God, you are not alone. Here you'll find powerful prayers, encouraging words, and real conversation that lead you closer to Jesus. So take a breath. You'll find a place to heal. Let's walk this journey together.
Let's talk about trusting God in seasons of delay. Waiting can be one of the hardest parts of our walk with God. You see others getting breakthroughs, new jobs, healed relationships, answered prayers, while you're still stuck waiting for your someday. And in that waiting, doubt starts whispering, maybe God isn't going to come through. Maybe you're not good enough. Maybe this whole thing isn't even real. Delay can test our faith more deeply than almost anything else. It can feel like silence. It can feel like abandonment. Even the prophet Habakkuk felt that tension. He cried out to God, "How long, Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen?" He was frustrated, confused. He saw injustice all around him and couldn't understand why God wasn't acting. Sound familiar? We've all been there, stuck between a promise and its fulfillment, between God said and God did. That gap, that waiting room of faith, is where trust is truly tested. Now let's look at what God said in Habakkuk 2:3. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. This verse reminds us that God's promises are not random. They're scheduled. They have an appointed time. The Hebrew word used here for appointed time is mode, meaning a divine set moment in history. That means what you're waiting for isn't forgotten. It's timed. Your breakthrough has a date on heaven's calendar. So when it feels like nothing is happening, something is happening. You just can't see it yet. So, how do we trust God in these seasons of delay? Let's break it down into three truths that can anchor you while you wait. One, God's delay is not God's denial. Just because it's not happening now doesn't mean it will never happen. Abraham waited 25 years for Isaac. Joseph waited over a decade in prison before stepping into purpose. David was anointed king but waited years to wear the crown. In every story, delay was not denial, it was development. God uses waiting to shape character before fulfilling calling. He's preparing the promise and preparing you. Two, God's timing protects what's coming. Sometimes the delay isn't about you, it's about what's ahead. If God gave you what you're praying for too early, it might crush you instead of bless you. Think of it like fruit. If you pick it before it's ripe, it's bitter, but if you wait for its season, it's sweet. God's timing ensures the blessing arrives when both you and the situation are ready. Three, waiting builds dependence, not despair. Waiting teaches us to lean on God, not our own understanding. It trains our hearts to say, even if I don't see it yet, I still trust you. It's in the waiting that intimacy with God deepens. Sometimes God holds back the what to strengthen your relationship with the who. You start realizing the blessing isn't just the thing you're waiting for, it's the God you're waiting with. Waiting doesn't mean God is ignoring you. It means He's inviting you deeper. When everything is quiet and it feels like heaven has gone silent, that's when your roots start growing. You see, faith isn't built in the harvest, it's built in the drought. It's easy to trust God when doors are opening, but it's in the waiting that you learn to say, even if nothing changes right now, I still believe you are good. That's dependence, not on what God does, but on who He is. Let's be honest, sometimes waiting hurts. It can break your heart. It can make you cry in the middle of the night, wondering, Lord, why isn't it my turn yet? If that's you, you're not weak, you're human. Even Jesus waited. He waited 30 years before his ministry began. Moses waited 40 years in the desert, and yet in their waiting, God was shaping them privately for what they'd one day do publicly. So don't despise the hidden season. Don't rush out of what God is still using to prepare you, because if you leave the waiting room too early, you might miss the strength He's trying to give you there. Maybe right now, God is teaching you to trust His character more than His calendar. We want quick results, but God wants lasting transformation. He's not just writing your story, He's shaping your soul. Think about this. What if the thing you've been waiting for, that breakthrough, that relationship, that healing, isn't being withheld from you, but woven for you? God isn't saying no. He's saying, not yet. I'm aligning everything. So instead of asking, when will it happen? Start asking, Lord, what are you teaching me while I wait? That shift changes everything. Because now the delay isn't wasted. It's a classroom, a place where faith matures, patience grows, and peace settles in your spirit. Let me share this simple story. There was a farmer who planted a bamboo seed. Every day he watered it. Every week he waited. But for years, nothing happened. No sprout, no growth, just empty soil. Then, in the 5th year, almost overnight, that bamboo shot up over 80 feet tall. But here's what people don't realize. During those years of silence, the bamboo wasn't dead. It was growing roots deep into the ground, building a foundation strong enough to support its future height. And that's exactly what God is doing in your life right now. The roots are growing even when you can't see the results. Your faith is going deeper than ever before, because what God is preparing to build through you will stand tall for His glory. So if you feel like you've been waiting forever, if it feels like God is quiet or far away, remember, silence doesn't mean absence. He's closer than you think. He's watching, refining, shaping, strengthening. Because when the appointed time comes, it won't be almost right, it'll be exactly right. God's timing isn't a second too soon or a moment too late. It's perfect, always has been, always will be. So here's my encouragement to you today. Don't let delay make you doubt what God declared. Habakkuk 2:3 says, though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come. If He gave you the promise, He'll give you the performance. If He started the story, He'll finish it. So while you wait, worship. While you're uncertain, trust. While nothing's moving, keep believing, because your waiting season isn't wasted time, it's sacred time. It's time God is using to write a testimony that will one day encourage someone else in their own waiting season. So breathe, rest. Your not yet is not never. And when God moves, it'll be worth every second you waited. If this message encouraged your heart today, take a moment to thank God right now, even for the delay, because that delay is building something inside you that success never could. And remember, when it doesn't make sense, trust His plan. When it feels late, trust His timing. When you feel forgotten, you're not. God's promises may linger, but they will certainly come.
Also, you guys, if you've been blessed by this message and you want to help me continue sharing the gospel, then consider joining my channel membership. Your support helps me create more content that encourages, uplifts, and point people to Christ. Click the join button below this video to learn more about the special benefits for members. Together, we can spread the good news even further. If today's message spoke to your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who needs encouragement. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because healing is a journey and you don't have to walk it alone. Until next time, may the peace of God surround you, and remember, you're still standing and God's not finished with you yet.